Welcome to Trek to Yomi. I would like to start off by saying I'm glad that my audio filters still work because my good god, my PC is making some noise. It sounds like it is actually struggling, but then again, when it's actually struggling. Yeah, I'm going to start with talking about this game first, and then I'm going to go into what's happened today, because today's one hell of a roller coaster ride. So, Trek to Yomi. Um, Honestly, don't know a lot about this. However, from what I can tell, well, it's published by Devolver Digital, who they're responsible for publishing a lot of really great indie games. Um, it's done very much as a homage to Akira Kurosawa's style, which if anyone has ever seen any of his movies, you will know that that is a massive thing. It's also a massive liking of mine because I really adore Kurosawa's movies. People who saw me play Ghost of Tsushima originally on stream will maybe remember that I alternated between streams of going full color and English with subtitles, and Kurosawa mode, which black and white film grain Japanese with English subtitles. I don't know if I did the Japanese bit. We also removed the HUD. My good god, playing that game with no HUD and on lethal difficulty. Yeah. Oh no, that was before I did the lethal difficulty thing. I think I just deleted it. Yeah. Yeah, Akira Kurosawa worked very much in black and white for a lot of his movies, not all of them, but it became very much it was said black and white feudal Japan setting is a good chance as a Kurosawa. He just he had that much of an impact. Um, and there's been obviously there's been huge numbers of adaptations of his works, like Magnificent Seven. Magnificent Seven is an adaptation of his film Seven Samurai. I absolutely fucking adore Seven Samurai. Throne of Blood was, well, actually no, to be fair, Throne of Blood was an adaptation, but the adaptation was of Macbeth. Macbeth done in feudal Japan. Pretty damn good. And then there's Kagamusha, which I don't think has actually gotten any sort of adaptation on that, but it does follow a trope the trope is popular and it has been used a lot. It's just probably not a mainstream one of like imposter to an important position has to actually do the work of the important position and learns a lot along the way, and then can tell who the imposter is and who the real person is. Except for Kagamusha, this isn't a spoiler. There's no doubt as who the real one is because the real one's dead. It's very early on in the movie. It's not a spoiler at all. The whole premise behind the movie. So yeah, as soon as this came up, as soon as I saw the trailer for Trek to Yomi, I thought, oh, that looks good. That looks very Kurosawa and looks right up my alley. And I got it very recently, so I thought, you know what, screw it. But I put it on the mystery list for this week, and what do you know? It's one out of a trio of I'm not even going to finish that off because that would be giving away the other things that are on the list. Because when something gets played, it gets taken off the list. So yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what gets streamed tomorrow, and then with the weekend, I'm not going to be doing the Deep Rock Galactic ones with Team Bondage because still recovering, still getting used to all these things. So I'm not going to go and try and push myself for a 6-hour stream. And I think maybe the amount of laughter I will do in the DRG ones might be a bit too much. However, I am recovering. I'm feeling a lot better. So I believe, as long as there's no hiccups or anything, next week I may be back to doing my streams as normal, full length, full schedule, all that sort of things. Obviously, I will be looking after myself. So if I do get to a point where I just think, oh, hang on, Yeah, that's his full name. I just saw the request for the directing question. Have his name typed out. Um, um, yeah. So obviously, I'll be looking after myself next week, but I am planning to return to my normal stream schedule with all the games in place and with the full timings and length. Obviously, if it's getting too much for me and I realise that no, I'm not recovered enough, that I will take a step back for to where I am now, because obviously I know that my recovery is the most important part of this for me and for everyone watching. So that's going to be that's where it's going to be. I am going to be keeping an eye on myself. I am going to be adjusting as need be, but my hope is that starting Monday, this coming Monday, things will go back to normal. Obviously, also as well, Friday for this week and next week are the special streams. This one is going to be Outriders with Jace. Next week is going to be Uno with Jace, Scoo, and Faye, which is going to be chaotic as all fuck. And I very much think that I'm glad we're doing it that next week, so I'm in no danger of theoretically popping a stitch from all the laughter I'll go through. I say theoretically because at the moment I can't. I cannot pop a stitch. The wound is sealed at this point. It's it has healed to the point where I don't believe that it is actually possible for me to undo what it's done skin wise. So that's okay. That's no longer a factor. I will still continue to take it easy, and obviously I'm still following surgeon's directions. See, but also I believe that Monday marks the 2-week mark since my surgery. Yes, in fact it does, and there's a fair few things where after 2 weeks you can stop doing certain things, but for the full recovery period I still have other things I can't do. For instance, I can't do any heavy lifting, and when I say heavy lifting, I mean that is pretty much lifting. Lifting is anything over 2 kilograms is a no. And for those of you who don't know what a kilogram is, Google it, because I'm not doing a conversion here because I can't be asked. Hang on a second, just remember something. I want to save a change to something, so in case my computer fucks up and crashes, I won't lose progress on something I was trying to keep track of. Yeah. So today has been all sorts of weird. I woke up as normal, got up, got on the computer, usual thing. Didn't know actually what to do. I think I was like, I went on Final Fantasy very early, but I realised I actually hadn't none of the daily things had ticked over on Final Fantasy, so I still had nothing to do. So I came off of that. I just sat there and I looked over at Twitter, and it caught my eye saying 3 notifications. Like, what the fuck? Like, whenever I get a notification on Twitter, it is usually something significant, unless I've posted something, and I did not post something. I was like, well, someone's tagged me in something, or someone has liked something I've been tagged in, because I was tagged in something like a few days ago. And what do I find? But when I look at my Twitter thing, I have been followed by a game studio. I have been mentioned in a tweet by the game studio, and that tweet has been liked and retweeted. So I looked at the tweet. So when I did the Tony and Clyde stream, the developers of Tony and Clyde watched the stream. They did a clip of my reaction at the end during the credits. And they put that up and said the award for the best reaction to Tony and Clyde goes to Malkaya. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck? The dev studio reached out, saw my stream, and promoted my stream. And they also said, you can watch the entire playthrough on his channel. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, then. Okay. And I then, I replied to it because, it's only right. Reached out and I replied to them and said, I just want to echo what I said in that clip. That Tony and Clyde's a fantastic game, and I look forward to seeing more from you. It's an amazing piece of work. And I'm pretty sure I made their day with that, because that's they then retweeted that tweet, and said that this is exactly the kind of feedback that warms their hearts and makes them proud of what they do. I was like, uh. So yeah, I had 5 minutes of internet fame today. That was a surprise. Like I have had so many surprises with devs interacting with some of my streams, especially on the indie stuff. Also recently I had the studio that developed Disciples Liberation. They interacted with my tweets about announcing playing the game. Um, I've had the Hellpoint developers come in and watch my stream whilst I was playing Hellpoint. I've had them like my tweet when I noticed there was something really badly glitchy with it, and I did the thing. I thought I'll get their attention. And if people remember a game called Other Side that I played a while back, and the names of the daughters in that on Facebook, the developer studio said, what have you named your characters? And I said Nap Time is one of my main ones, and they loved it. They were rolling on the floor laughing at the fact that I called one of my daughters Nap Time. That's amazing. So yeah, that happened. And then after that, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go on the PlayStation 5 because there's still nothing to do on the PS4. Not PS4, Final Fantasy 14. Went on the PS5. I was like, well, what can I do? I really don't feel like playing Warframe. Oh look, Genshin is staring me in the face. So I went on Genshin and I played Genshin for about 3 hours or so. I stopped playing Genshin because I realised the things had ticked over that I wanted to do on Final Fantasy, so I went back to Final Fantasy. Spent most of the day playing Final Fantasy as usual. And in the lead up to this stream, I thought, well, I'm going to be turning my PS5 on anyway. So I went back and did a bit more Genshin, did a couple of quests, and I had a resource of some kind that allowed me to buy 10 pulls on a banner. I'm like, okay. Looked at the banner, looked at the beginner banner, the beginner banner, which I'd only pulled twice on before. It let you can only pull 10 times on the banner, but you get Noel as a guaranteed for some pulls on the banner. It's with you do those 10 pulls, you are guaranteed to get Noel as a character. I got her in the second pull because apparently I'm very lucky. I've since tried to pull for other characters, including Hu Tao, nothing. So I thought my luck was absolutely completely shit. I only get a guaranteed character. So this time I went back. I was like, oh look, I've got enough pulls. I can get the last 8 pulls on this banner. Oh well, why not? All. So yeah, pulled all 8 things, and a purple thing came. I was like, that means something pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just yeah, there's like weapon. I was like, oh yeah, that's fine. It's probably gonna be like a 4-star weapon that I got, so that's why it came up purple. And then there was an outline of a character. Like, what? Pop, Barbara. It's like, awesome. Wasn't expecting to get a character, but no, cool. Yeah. Next one. Outline of a character. It's like, what? Just happens to be Beidou. So yeah, Beidou, like one of one of those being one of the best characters and one of the ones I really, really wanted. Yeah, I have her now from the beginner banner. And Faye is really pissed off, because I'm pretty sure you can see there, because she does not have Beidou, and she really wants Beidou, and she's been playing Genshin for ages. I've literally been playing it for 3 days properly. I am immensely happy about this. A, for actually getting Beidou, because I wanted her as a character, but when it came, I was like, oh my god, I have got to show Faye this. I have got to. It will piss her off so much. Oh, it's fun. It's fun. Who's you after? Beidou, who I pulled. And if you don't know the name, then give me 2 seconds. Settings, storage. Yeah. Oh, spellings, let's see. Well, this'll help. When that came up, I was like, I have got to screenshot this. I have got to send this to Faye. I have got to piss her off royally. Yeah, yeah, so that's been my day. That's been my day. I've had some really good time on Final Fantasy 14. I have still not gotten into actually progressing storyline because the amount of stuff I'm doing on the dailies and what I'm on the daily stuff, and the amount of time I get to it, tends to take up most of my time playing it. I mean, that's going to change slightly anyway soon, and yeah, we'll see. Probably after tomorrow's stream or around tomorrow's stream, I'll do more stuff on Final Fantasy. I managed to also get progress in the relic area that I'm trying to do. However, that is everything surrounding things. Let's catch up. Nah. Let's catch up with some chat and then get into Trek to Yomi. Zoom. Hello, welcome, Torian. You'll love when your computer restarts due to an update and it fucks with the audio settings. Thanks, Windows. Yeah. Fucking Pokebollocks. Yeah, I've had that a couple of times. When my computer's just restarted and it's like, oh, my audio's gone. Well, that's fucky. Hello, welcome, DJ. Not first. That's why I have the chat log in the startup screen, so you can read that. And yeah, stream elements was really, really fucking late. Twitch there. It's about all the time. Sound like you just clucked like a chicken. Fluffy, hello and welcome. So I heard eep. Eep. I don't know. I do not know what that was. It might have been. I managed to. I don't know. There might have been an ad or something. I don't know. I do not know what it was. But that was pretty cool looking. Yes. Think I know what you're going to say? Go for it, Torian. If you think you know what I was going to say, then go for it. I will be very surprised if you actually know what I was going to say about what game was going to start, because I'm very certain that unless you sneaked a peek at my PS5 dashboard or you've seen my recently bought games, you won't know what it is. How do you spell his name? Faye, hello and welcome. Damn, we almost had you reveal secrets to us. Never. Never. I'll tell you what. I will reveal all my secrets to you when you beat me at Mario Kart. Oh wait, that's never going to happen. So, Kelly, hello and welcome. Mark, I'm sure you hear this a lot, but my brain went numb during that because I'm distracted by your hair. I've never been told that my hair has been distracting, so that's first. I've been told lots of things about my hair, but distracting is a new one. I actually also found out how long it is. And I've forgotten somehow. I've also now forgotten how long it is. It's like 30 inches. I measured my hair and it comes out around about 30 inches. Do you see all that stuff with the housing glitching a month or two ago? Oh yes, on Final Fantasy, yeah, that's still going on. They think they've got it, and they're apparently releasing a fix for it next week. But yeah, the housing lottery system completely glitched, and so they took the entire system down, so people can't buy houses, but they would rather have the system be completely working than risk people getting, screwed out of the house that they went on auction for. So I can understand why. And I've been saving up this entire time to get the house, to get a house. I already have one, but I want a bigger one. I've got all the money I need for it. To retweet, nice. Targeted. I don't care. I've got Beto. And I'm better than you at Mario Kart. Hey, congrats on the devs notes to you though. That's impressive. Farthest I got was only of mine being noticed by the devs of the game. That's pretty damn good as well. That really is. Like, part of what it is because of the thing of me getting game keys. When I get a game key, I also get instructions on what I need to do to promote my coverage of it. So that when they want to go out and do their PR sweep stuff, they will actually pick up the stuff that I've done. So therefore, it's easier for them to find. It's just they find it and they interact with it because they're indie devs. And they tend to have just a small group of people, so they actually have more of a reaction to it rather than a faceless corporation. It's like when I did my playthrough of Insomnis, and I really praised it, and had the developers completely going, "What the fuck? Thank you," at me. So, it's fine. Like, you don't really need to thank me. This is you've given me this so I can evaluate it and give it coverage and do a semi review on it. And I'm telling you the truth. I have enjoyed these games. The only game that I haven't enjoyed, well, yeah, I didn't enjoy Whiskey and Zombies, but that's only because while I really like the concept, the game needs a lot more work for it to be better. A lot about the gameplay lets it down, but the idea is really fantastic. It just needs better execution. You have to replay a chapter in Bioshock because it's the guy that you're meant to be running away from is glitched. That sucks. Yeah, Bioshock does have its fair share of glitches. Thankfully, I managed to avoid any of the game-breaking ones, but yeah. How are you doing to the good Pringle provider? That's literally the only thing that Torian has been known for Faye now. Faye identifies people by singular acts, and this one is, Pringle provider. I once had the Dev of Shotgun Farmer in the stream when I played it, and then another indie game I played, the Dev was in the chat with me. Nice! That is really nice. Sleepy. Sam is after you. I was about to start singing the lyrics for Sam, but I realised I actually do not know what the lyrics are after Mr. Sandman, Bring Me a Dream. And that song has been covered by one of my favourite bands. And I've listened to the cover, and the cover is surreally weird. Redlon, welcome. Yes, they thought it might be some my side bug asked, did your mic break? I swear audio is worse than usual. That's why I'm crazy. No, you are not crazy. You are, microphone itself is also not broken. What it is the setup I have here is that this headset has a single wire coming out of it. It combines the audio, the speakers and the microphone. What I have is that going into a splitter, so it basically splits it into the two cables that most PCs recognize, one separate for headset and one separate for microphone. I then have those going into a USB dongle, which then converts it into essentially an external sound card, rather than having to reach all the way behind my computer to plug into the sound card, which is on board with my motherboard, or anything like that. The previous one I had broke. The replacement is not as good, and I cannot for the life of me find out why. Because everything I can tell, they are both, the old one was a USB version 2 device. That's also USB 2. I've been trying to find a USB 3 external sound card, but I cannot for the life of me find one. And if I have scored against one, it's probably been not cheap, which is annoying. So sadly, this is the quality we're going to get unless I can either find a better sound card thing like that, somehow have a better headset, or when I get to the US and have a full and proper microphone set up rather than this thing. He's awesome. Banders, yes, Banders. Bandersnatch. Snatch. Snatch. Hype Train Digital created such art notes to my review once. Nice. Absolute bastard. I want to have her. Why would you get her so soon? I don't know. I do not know, but I was so glad. This is the reason why Nia calls me an oversized iguana, because of my pulling luck with gacha games. Because I do this shit on Arknights all the time. Who's after? Oh, pretty. Yes, she is. She is pretty, and she's also a really, really good character. I love her more than you. You don't deserve her. Well, I've got the perfect answer to that. Actually, no, I've got something to show you. It's right down here. Play more, but I have no one to play with on the server I chose. My sister and fiance don't play a lot. That's completely fair. Actually, I don't know which one you mean there. If you mean Final Fantasy, then I can wholly understand that. If you mean Genshin, I've got no idea how the multiplayer even works in that. I know it's co-op, but I don't know the extent of it. But Final Fantasy, yeah, it's difficult. It is difficult to play when you've got no one else to play with. I mean, I'm a solo player at heart, and even so, it's like I really wish I had someone to enjoy this with. But thankfully, both Fox and Callie both play it. So when they're around, I do have someone to play with. It's just Fox is catching up to where I am in the story. Callie is way behind, but that's also, in fairness, Callie stopped playing for a long time because she didn't get along with the class that she picked, and at the time, it was the easiest class to use, and I had no idea what to recommend to her. Since the rework, I have recommended her a different class, and she's taken to that new class like a duck to water, and she's really enjoying it. So it's all about something to enjoy. I can see a big chip missing out of my scene that has always been there, as far as I recall. It's just for some weird reason I thought it was a bug. I can see that just out the corner. Well, not really the corner of my eye, but the top of my eye. Oh, it was you, Torium. But yeah, Faye chose the EU Genshin server like a dum-dum so you can't play with Jace. I mean, to be fair, Jace has stated his intention, that he would quite happily start again on the Europe server, just so he can play with the two of us, which will be fun. The tongue piercing I saw, how lewd. Yes, I have had a tongue piercing for 17 years now, and honestly, I was worried I was going to lose it for surgery because they said, before surgery, you need to remove any jewelry and piercings you have. I can understand why a tongue piercing would have to come out because that would interfere with them shoving the breathing tube in. And I thought, it was probably going to have to get cut out because I wasn't able to unscrew it. So I've managed to unscrew it. It's like awesome. Then I read that tongue piercings close up very, very quickly. Like apparently within hours initially. So I thought, I'm going to lose my tongue piercing. Thankfully, though, after the surgery, after a couple of nurse visits, I said, I've got a tongue piercing and I took it out for the surgery. When will I be able to put it back in? And she said, after you've eaten. You'll be fine. After you've eaten and, you've kept the food down, you'll be fine. You want to make sure that you are keeping food and liquids down and, we won't need to rush you back in. After that, it's fine. So I had a meal there, kept it down, no issues with my stomach whatsoever. So, right, okay, here's the moment of truth, got the piercing out, unscrewed the ball, lifted my tongue, trying to find where it is, and it was still there. So, right the way through, didn't even have to pierce any membranes or anything. It's like, oh, well. Now I know where to find it, you banana. I don't think you can actually look at my recently bought games. You can look at my recently played, but I don't think you can look at a game that I've bought until I play it. I don't think you can compare games until I've played it. But still, I welcome you to try and to guess what you think it is. It's always distracted by my hair. I thought it was my face, but no, apparently it's my hair. I like how I legit bought a mannequin to play with it. I don't know, to your ass crack. Not quite. Close, but not quite. 30 inches. It was yeah. Read about it and went, what? Yeah, it's super long. It doesn't look, it looks long here until you realise, there's a wall there. You can see, how little effort it takes for me to touch the wall there. That piece of hair is now touching the wall. It's not even fully straight or, fully extended. Mostly. But yeah, full length for my hair. I don't know, Sandman. Man me a sand. This morning. I went to bed around 5 a.m. Bomb, 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 bomb. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that is actually what comes after Mr. Sandman. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream, make him the cutest I've ever seen. That is not what I expected where someone would actually go. Give him two lips like roses and clovers, and tell him that all his lonely nights are over. Typically, everything I need is conveniently expensive the second I need it, so I get that. I mean, in fairness, that little thing doesn't cost much. It cost me £5. It's just, not as great as it could be. On the bright side, the other day I got some £8 or 45.45 kilos of popcorn kernels for $14. So that's infinite popcorn. God. But I really want popcorn. It's been ages since I've had popcorn. I really want popcorn now. Damn it. Cheese one with a finger. As I can. Genshin. Everyone needs to play more Genshin, apparently. Faye needs to play less Genshin. Faye, you haven't played Genshin for a while, to my understanding. And, you know, I'd say you need to play more Genshin, because otherwise you won't get Beidou. Get on my level, bitch. There we go. Callie, Red Mage for life. Yeah, Callie really has taken to Red Mage. Oh, Callie, that said, I found out something with Red Mage. You know that the ability acceleration. I'm never sure what you do, what it does. I found out what it does. It also makes the AoE neutral thing instant cast and stronger. So, you know, I personally use it before I cast the middle AoE thing because damage boost. Can you give us a hint maybe the genre? I was very close to giving away the name by saying trans. There you go. The beginning of the title of the game is trans. That is what I will give you, and that is all you get to go off of. It's I almost said Lydia. Sorry about that. Torian was convinced that they knew what the game was, so I'm calling them out on it. It's fully straight. You're not wrong, actually. Yeah. Wait, EU server UK, yes. Whenever EU servers are mentioned, unless specifically stated otherwise, it includes the UK. Because server regions. Except one for UK versus EU, yeah. Yes. So yeah, I found that out, Kelly, because I've now got my Red Mage to level 72, I think? No, 75. No, I've just got my Red Mage to 75. So I've been power leveling. Well, not power leveling, I've been leveling and doing it very often. So yeah, I'm discovering all the weird and wacky and wonderful shit that Red Mages can do. And my good God, when you get to a point where, when you get to level 60 as a Red Mage, ooh, it changes. 60 or is it 70? I think it actually might be, no, it is 70. When you get to 70, my good God, it changes. It changes for the better, but it changes slightly, but ooh, it's good. It's really good. Realised Beidou back when you played, I ended up quitting since I don't like and can't get into gacha games for life for me, even if I overall like the game. That's fair. I mean, as a gacha system, it's okay. The Genshin gacha system is okay. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but I would say it is okay. I've seen a lot better, aka Arknights. I've seen worse, aka Near Reincarnation, but Genshin's one of their 1 year anniversary, and their gift to all the players on their 1 year anniversary was a chance to win items. A raffle. No gifts, nothing like that. Their gift was here. Be entered into a raffle draw. You might win something. Dropping the ball is a bit of an understatement there. I thought you were going to say trans creators. Ah. Yes. If I said trans creators, yes, there is a yes. I can think exactly of the game that you are thinking about there, Torian, and it is the one that yesterday when my computer crashed that I did show to Mori, because Mori was very much wanting me to play that game and to see it, which I now have it, but no, it was not that. Transistor is the only other game I can think of without looking up names. Is it Transistor? It is not Transistor. I do own Transistor, just not on PS. I think I've got it on PS4, PS5. I know I have it definitely on PC because it's part of the Supergiant trilogy that I wanted to play. I mean, I know it's not a trilogy because there's 4 games, but I don't really want to play Pyre. Transformers games, yes. They've been here for a while. Well, there's a game called Transparent, but I'm wrong. No, that's fair. That's literally when I quit. I don't blame you. With how bad they dropped the ball on the 1 year anniversary thing. I do not bought. Yeah. Genshin Gacha should be hella better. The weapon banner is awful, and yeah, there was a revolt over the anniversary situation. It's like the problem is, like, if you look at how Arknights does their gacha system, it immediately makes every other gacha system ever, vastly inferior, because I don't know what it is, but the gacha system in Arknights just gets it really, really well. As in, you get frequent pulls. The pity system is good. You will always get an operator. There's no equipment or anything to get from that. The banners that you pull on, and even the recruitment pulls, you will get an operator. And if you get a duplicate operator, it increases, the power of the operator. If you have that operator at maximum potential, you get a trade-in value, which you can then use to buy more pulls. It's a very good system. So, just saw your comment. I'm going to sign your email up to a bunch of online churches with the spam. Now that is a threat. Yeah, Pyre is really different. I've watched Scoo play and beat one iteration of Pyre, and it's like, no, it's not for me. Pyre is not a game for me. But I have played and finished Bastion. I also now own it again. I have played the intro to Transistor, and I have nearly finished one run through of Hades. That's my experience with Supergiant games. Hopefully, I will actually be able to stream them at some point, because that is a thing on the stream queue that I do want to do. I want to do the Supergiant games thing. Michelle Simon won Church, of course, Hysteria back in the US back in 2010 by saying that the Rapture was going to happen in October 2011. I remember that. I fucking remember that. That was just hilarious. Everyone's going, "Oh no, the Rapture's coming! The Rapture's coming! Oh no! Oh no!" I was like, "It's hilarious." I thought MMs were my thing when I did the entire BFAs and the lower portion with my sister and WoW. Try 14 and liked it. But apparently RPG is my weakness. That is wholly fair. I understand that. It's like open world games are usually my weakness. Open world games, real-time strategy games, and pretty much anything which is racing or sport related. My weaknesses, I just can't get them. Can't get on with them. Oh, fighting games as well. Really can't. Anything that requires you to do combos, I really fail on. What year of 2012? They really tried to steal the Mine's Thunder. I know, right? We'll see if these last Friday have 11 hours already. Nice. Nice. I'm really glad you're enjoying that. Sea of Thieves is one of those things that, it appeals to me as an idea, but the vast amounts of required cooperation and interaction with other players puts me off. I'm like, no, thanks. Plus, also, it would have to be on PC because it's a Microsoft exclusive. I think Pyre has lots of endings. Yeah, so basically the way with Pyre goes, the way that it goes with Pyre is that your team, when you get to the end of the game, you get to choose one of your team that gets rescued. And then you start the whole game over again. And you basically have to go and play the entire game every single time until you've rescued every single person. Yeah, no thanks. I like the idea. I really like the idea. I really like the storytelling in Pyre. It's just the gameplay of it is not my thing. Google says Pyre has 20,000 enemies on it. I don't believe that for a second. I don't care if Google says I don't believe that. I do not believe a game is capable of having 20,000 endings. That's not possible. I could understand them saying 20,000 endings if they did like a Fallout-esque thing of the epilogue, and they are counting each little variation as a different ending. That I could see them stretching to 20,000, yes. But, nah. Actual distinct endings, nah. I don't buy that. Don't buy that at all. And that is actually where I've caught up with things. It's taken a bit of a while, but we had a lot to talk about. So, without further ado, let's jump into Trek to Yomi. The Stanley Parable Docs has 40 and Detroit Become Human has 50. Anyway, yeah. Those games that are that massively into having all of their endings and all being different having that few by comparison, don't believe the 20,000 for a second. You can already tell where the Kurosawa influence is if you've seen any of the movies. Let me just see if it actually did save my setting. It did. I'm just going to lower the master volume a bit more. That seems okay now. Video. New game. Kabuki, for those who want to enjoy the game's story. Bushido, for those who want both story and sword. For experienced players who'd like to challenge. And the final one is Kensei. Does not give me a thing on that. What do you reckon? Ronin? Shall we go Ronin? Right, right balls deep into Ronin mode. How bad can it be? How bad can it be? Fuck it, Ronin. I like that. We are Ronin.
真の調和を保つ者は幾年もの先を見抜くことができるというが、
I can see me more
全ての調和
Kurosawa.
を乱し者は一寸先をも見抜くことができぬ。一歩一歩進むのだ。気を抜くでない。一寸先を感じ取り、己が選ぶべき道を知れ。息を満たし放つのだ。己が心を開け。邪念を
Fuck, wants
鎮
an
めるの
American
だ。
accent, the most absurd McDonald's order possible.
侍ならば
I want something healthy. Give me a
いつ
salad.
も同じことを繰り返しております。先生、何故にこうもせねばなりませぬか。
侍とはいつまでも型を極めようとするもの。さあ、邪念を鎮めよ。息を満たし、止めよ。
That's absurd. We're going
向
to
かい合いし者の
go to
糸を
McDonald's and ask
組
me
み込
something
む。
healthy.
気を散らせば死を見るぞ。今一度、初めからだ。
This is gorgeous already.
先生、
This is also an indie
手
game.
ほどきするは学ぶこと。故に今日は、我が
Says
先
some
を
McDonald's. They do. They're just crap.
前を開けよ。
This is Tsushima looking alright. Okay.
しかと見よ。
Anyone seen one?
己が身につ
I
け
was
し
working at
技を
McDonald's when
見
they
せてみろ。
introduced salads. Okay. I can't but you have to rotate manually.
目を離すでない。一時たりとも相手に背を向けてはならぬ。
A bit more research, and the actual developer says they think it's about 200 million, not including some of the stuff. Bollocks. Bollocks. I can see 200. I can see maybe 200 million, factors, not 200 million unique, actual, proper, full endings. I depend on a lot. I hated it. I did actually stop. I wasn't working in the kitchen when they introduced it, so I never had to work with it. Yeah, no, both things.
刀を振ることしか知らぬ者の先は見えておる。守りを固めるのだ。防げ、広き。防ぐのだ。相手の気力がそがれるの
All who
を
wait
待
for
つ
their
は
opponent to
愚
tire
か者の
first.
する
Move
こ
as
と
wind so that the blade cannot catch
風
you.
のように動
If
く。
someone reaches the enemy, you
さ
get
す
to
れ
the
ば
tired
刀に
state.
とらわれる。
If someone reaches the enemy, you will become tired until your stamina is recovered. While tired, you can only parry or perform a single slow attack. Although executing a tired attack produces regeneration, if it kills an enemy, you'll be rejuvenated. The portion of your stamina restored. Successful parries will also cause you to be immediately rejuvenated. Okay. On Steam, by the way, but yeah, no,
こ
that's
と
yeah.
はあるまい。
There we go.
今日は
It
ここま
is.
でだ。明日は
三十郎様、三十郎様、一大事でございまする。
ひろき、ここにおれ。
されど
修行を忘れるでないぞ。己が死に従うのだ。常にな。ひろき、無事でおれ。
愛子殿、我々はどういたせばよいでしょうか。
父上があれほど案ずるとは気がかりでなりません。何があったのか明らかにせねば。
されど先生は。
これはお稽古よりも大事でございます。参りましょう。
Kids actually takes a full-on fucking katana. There's a training area in the dojo where you can hone your skills. Okay.
町場の方へ向かったのでは。
You can move around freely when not in combat, but
先
your
生は
weapons
いか
will
な
remain
る時も
sheathed.
稽古を立つことはありませんでした。何か
adorable.
気を悪くされたのでしょうか。
何をおっしゃいます、ひろき殿。あなた様は父の自慢の弟子でございます。
あんなに急いで、弟子様の後を追ってあんなに急いで。
So down the gates. It's a recent game? Yes, it is. But it's also an indie game. This is something else.
毎日おめえの荷が道を塞いでんだよ。耐えかねることを耐
Watching
え
Bleach
て
for the first time since middle school today, amazing how many sections went way above my head. Yeah, that's usually the way. Yeah, watch the first 14 episodes or so of Bleach. Not
ひろ
bad.
き殿、愛子様へ一つ手土産でもいかがかな。
拙者は愛子殿はその
お顔が赤くなっておられますよ。今は先を急ぎましょう。美味しそうではございましたが。
That's adorable.
サバ、アサリ、鈴木。この老いぼれの荷車を動かすのをお手伝いいただけませぬか。三十郎様がかけてきたのに仰天してしまい、溝にはまってしまいまして。
承知いたしました。先生はどこへ向かわれたかご存知でしょうか。
かたじけのうございます。三十郎様はものすごい速さで上に上がっていかれました。門の外で何かあるようでございますな。
That cannot be good. So much as the world needs to be moved aside for you to progress. To be honest, who knows, my nostalgia is causing me to like this stuff, kind of like how I still love Dark Souls 1, Fable 3 and Dragon's Dogma. See, Fable 3, I've got Fable 3 and Dark Souls 1. No issue with those. Dragon's Dogma, I tried it. I gave it a good try, but nah, it's felt so hollow. Still spiked watching Downton Abbey. I love that. Let's be flexible. Thank you, DJ, for your contribution to the Drunk Stream Challenge. Thank you, Faye, for your contribution to the Drunk Stream Challenge. I have an idea for the Drunk Stream Challenge, thanks to Vesp. I have a very big idea for that, and it's gotten to the point where basically she gave me the idea, and when I said I'm going to do it, she says, I want to see it. I'm like, oh, you will.
早道がございます。
Wait, stop this bitch, guess we're going to her.
されどお咎めになる先生もここにはおりません。
それほど厳しい父ではありません。
So if your contributions to the Drunk Stream
ここを
Challenge.
通ってきたはず。
Shocked face for Dorian. What's he doing? Oh. fellow Downton Abbey watcher. See, I don't watch Downton Abbey because I don't need to have intricate details on how British peasantry lived and operated. If I want to know that, I'll just ask Mal or Lydia or Fox how their day is going.
ここで何をしておる盗っ人どもが。
ひろき殿、お急ぎよ。
お許しくだされ。何も取ってはおりません。拙者どもはただ。
さっさと出て。
Try to save your progress and fully restore your health and stamina. Okay. Series 2, episode 7.
また振られちまったよ、兄貴。
今度は何だってんだ。
俺はあいつに言ったんだ。おめえさんなら黄泉の
けどけ白番じゃ。
勝負事は相手よりもしっかり
It's not smart on me this
怪
day.
我はありませんか。
いやなんでもねただ口惜しいだけで。
拙者は三十郎様を見つけなければなりませんが、戻った際に必ず手助けを。
ありがてえがなんとかするさ。足が手を貸しますんで、ご客人の世話が済んだらすぐそっちに向かいます。ありがてえありがてえ。
Sprint to move fast, but sprinting during combat will use your stamina.
ひろき殿、今のは何者か
Oh,
の
there
叫
we
び
go.
声
There's
で
the
しょう
sprint
か。
button.
いかにも先生がいらっしゃるところに違いありません。
お急ぎよ。
And it's
何者かの襲撃です。ひろき殿、それがゆえに父上はあれほど急いで。
拙者から離れませぬよ。先生を見つけねば。
call the attack.
皆を、私は父上を見つけます。
いけませぬ。危のうございます。
核のごとき輩など知りも及ばぬこの村のすべ
Jackie Lee, hello and welcome.
どうか人目のつかぬところへ。あなた様に何かあれば先生に合わす顔がございませぬ。
That's got to be really close now.
そして拙者
Yeah, 1,450 points and the drunk stream challenge is finished. That's one more full donation and with there.
案ずることはございません。
Progress. Thank you, Fluffy, for your contribution to the Drunk Stream Challenge.
小僧、いかにしてわしを止める気だ。
拙者は侍じゃ。
喉をかっきれ。
Combat. Thank you, Ian, Jack, both for the contribution to the Drunk Stream Challenge yourselves. I finished Chapter 3 in Genshin, and I don't know why the statue is driving me crazy. You're further than I am. I'm assuming Chapter 3 of the Adventurer log. If it's Chapter 3 of the Adventurer log, I know exactly which which statue you're talking about. Am I? I'm doing really well, actually, thank you. Oh! That's what Ronin difficulty is. That stuff for the bottom where, you know, I've got 6 boxes. I lose 2 boxes per hit. Yeah, Dawn Winery. So, if you look at the island of Mondstadt, there's a little bit on the bottom where it juts out slightly. If you go directly south of that, that's where the statue is. I believe that's where that one is. Jesus. This is really reminding me of Prince of Persia. You know, the original Prince of Persia, where it was all 2D. That's what this fighting style reminds me of, and that's not a bad thing. Basically, the light beam coming from them. I'm sorry, what? I just got one shot. Jesus. Oh, hello, welcome. So that flash basically means it's a death hit. Right. He says this game looks nice. It really does. It's very much Akira Kurosawa inspired. I really like this, even if I am kind of failing at the first. Really, so sorry to hear that, Mark. Also, what is this game? This is Trek to Yomi. It's a repetitive bang and death noise or something. No, if you see the watchtower there, there's a guy up there who is ringing the alarm. This village is under attack by bandits. I think Ronin difficulty might be a bit too much, honestly. So I was very confused. Don't know if I'm just getting the timing wrong, but I seem to not be able to do anything with that. Get good. Get better. Get on my level. I'm literally a samurai. You see me playing Ghost of Tsushima. Get good at Mario Kart. Ha! I can't get past the first enemy encounter. Oh, Kelly, thank you very much for completing the Drunk Stream challenge. Very much appreciated. Drunk Stream will happen after I've recovered, so it's not going to happen until June. Because, you know, alcohol plus recovery from surgery doesn't seem like the greatest combination. What I will do now, though, however, and apologies because the stream is now going to get a little bit framey, I'm going to set up another challenge. Well, I say set up, I'm going to start another challenge. Because, you know, it's already been set up. I pre-planned these. Well, I was going to do that now. So So I was going to have as next one a one-off game stream challenge. However, this entire week is essentially one-off games, so it doesn't make sense to do that as the challenge. So instead, we have an SCP stream to do. And to bed, love you too. So I'd like you, love you too, Callie. Thanks for coming in as long as you did. I'll see you later. Sleep well. Yeah, SCP. Thank you, babe, for your contribution to the SCP stream challenge. I cannot get past these enemies. Now I'm broke. Mood. You know what? I'm gonna drop the difficulty. Oh, it's on hard. That okay, that makes sense. That's on hard mode. Difficult humans can't be ended. Difficult change. You to do? Yes. They both made since I tried video. Yeah, that's fine. Ah, nice. Nice, DJ. That was a bit iffy. Fuck that dude. Okay, just one shot him. There we go. Thank you, Fluffy, for your contribution to the SCP Stream Challenge. That's cool. Actually, I wonder, is there something where the previous guy broke out from? You know, in here. Oh no, this is okay. That's just a 2D area. I'm gonna go left or right. There. Put this one out of his misery, says to a kid. Increase. This will come in handy. Why does it look sake? Honestly, this is not quite fully what I was expecting. Some people will call up with upgrade, particularly hitting a new enemy or doing something specific. Okay.
ああ、そうかい。
先生からしかと手ほどきを
I think it sounds very nice for some reason. It really is. It's the same with Sekiro and also Ghost of Tsushima. The weapon, the combat sounds, those were absolutely spectacular.
ならば読みへ行け。愚かなわっぱが。叩き切れ。もう一発じゃ。
Potentially that backwards. Oh! Oh, I like that. The cinematography in this game is fucking fantastic. think they're just maybe rewards.
あなた様は守り神様の化身か何かでございますか。かたじけない色木様。三十郎様をお探しなら宣告この前を駆け抜けていきなされました。
Shuriken now.
誰もおらん。行くぞ。酒を飲みながら
読み送りにしてやれ。
すでに村の多くが燃やされ、多くの命が奴らの手にかけられておる。先生がとどめてくださることを願う。
It's freaking
さ
gorgeous.
せていただければよろしかったのだが。愛子殿が無事であればよいが。
ってこった。
Steal shit from a house full of dead people, yeah! Game's more glorious than the thought of Iggy RC Eggies. Oh, God.
こいつら百姓は何も持ってねえ。
塵も積もればってやつよ。
You telling me they actually can't see me doing
よう
that?
になるってもんだ。
しっ
腰を減れよ。
逃げられんぞ。
Come on. You can't go back. Oh, you can. You won't let me whilst I was in the fight. Interesting.
監視はいつ来てくれるんだい。
I think the Shogun's going to be sending aid. That was the one I needed, Mount, thank yous. What? What?
もう年を勘抜きをせねば。そこの木を持ってこい。
What?
はよせい。まだ来るぞ。
抑えろ。抑えろ。
Oh, the statue! Oh, right, no problem. I only know because I did that one recently. I'm on chapter 4. Chapter 4 of the adventure log. Fucking hell, that's real specific. Although, if I'm honest, the one that I dislike... Sorry, the one that I dislike the most about chapter 3 is... Process 3 resources. Because I did that, I was like, okay. I had 13 pieces of wheat. So I thought, I'll process them all, and it will do it. It didn't. I processed 13 pieces of wheat in one go, and it counted for 1. Like, that's dick. Well, 3 different ones? No, they are quite happy for you to use the same one. You just have to, you have to process something 3 times. Not process 3 items, process at something 3 times. It's a very bad wording error is what it is. I have secret routes in areas made fun collectibles or even shrines. Or maybe both. Bollocks.
門は放っておけ。壁を登れ。仕留めろ。
己を買いかぶりすぎじゃ。
退いておる。これは先生の行いか。
社の中に何かあるはずだ。
腰をへしろってやるが。
Hey, stamina upgrade. This is what you get for going off the beaten path.
ここにおとどまりを。
されど先生は。
ご師範様はわしらを守るために刀を抜かれました。手柄のために命を投げ捨ててはいけませぬ。
拙者は死を恐れませぬ。先生の助太刀をせねば。
So back there to switch to Apple PCs too. Thank you. Oh, sorry to hear that. Welcome back, Jack and D. And distraction is death.
刀か。年派もいかぬ小僧の手に我が折より幼し。我が我が父を討ち取りし時よりも。参れ、刀さばきを見せてみよ。哀れな。
I'm guessing I can't win this. Yeah, I can't win this. Yeah, he's impossible to beat. End of kindergarten. Finish chapter 1. Cut his eye! Nice!
わっぱを切ろうとは武士の風上にも置けん。武士の誇りなど弱く恐れる者どもの大義名分。何も知らぬ賊名。恐れをなして逃げ出すなら今ぞ。恐れの主とは我のことよ。じじい。
Nice. Nice.
ひろき、皆がお主を頼っておる。皆を守るとちぎりを交わせ。
かしこまりました。
たとえお主の命が尽き果てようとも。
承知いたしました。
よし、愛子を頼んだぞ。
先生の名を汚すようなことはしませぬ。
Net. Jesus. he had less screen time than the father in Mass Effect Andromeda, and I felt more of an emotional connection to him than I did the father. Goes to show what good writing can do. Title card.
この妖術使いのごとし武将、まだどのようなものかわからぬ。そしていかにあのような軍勢を集めたかも。明白なるは残忍で容赦なき悪であるということ。奴の手下は山から影のように密かに現れ、二つの村があったところには血と灰だけが残りました。大官所の助けは間に合いませぬ。奴が上川村を取れば川を渡り、次はこの村。
我が村よりもまず上川村の者どもを救わねばならん。
Jack asks, this is a AAA game? No, this is an indie game.
あの村の定めは我が村の定めも同じ。上川村の方たちにすぐに知らせ、
Absolutely mind-blowing that this is an indie game. This is incredibly well made.
奴らが川を渡れぬように。もし我らが
戦議の中失礼いたします。されど何者かが門にて助けを求めておりまする。
It's super impressive. It is. It really is.
鬼じゃ。奴らは鬼じゃ。
いずこのお方か。何者にやられたのです。教えてくださる。
亡者の目をした者たちがいずこからか急に現れ、奴らの大将はただただ見届けておった。奴らが、わしは上川村の者だ。何人かで林の中に逃げたが、鬼どもが追ってきよった。わしの家の者は
お悔やみ申します。誰か
Multiple batches of processing might be a PS thing, but I didn't have to do that.
今すぐに奴らを撃たねば。あの村の定めは我が村の定め。
お行きくだされ。敵は姿を現しました。私は守りに備えます。
That's awesome. Second day hit AAA
ご
games.
武運をお
Agreed.
祈りいたします。あなた様。
It's what I've said quite a lot of times. AAA games are money makers. Indie games are works of love, passion, and art. And it shows. It's warm tonight.
上川村の者どもでございます。
では奴の手下どもはすでに川を渡っておる。一刻の猶予もないぞ。森光殿、いざ参る。生きておろうが死んでおろうが、拙者は上川村にたどり着かねばならぬ。
I'm sort of seeing some indie games made in RPG making the best of some bullshit to be honest. Yep. Always look back the way you came, because that is where developers will hide a lot of things. Thank you, Ian Jack, for the contribution to this SCP Stream Challenge. Hopefully my internet connection won't die partway through this one. I obviously already have an SCP lined up for that one.
橋は落とされた。ならば斧が力で倒れろ。倒れろ。志と指導は山をも動かす。
川の見張りなど取るに足りん。わしらも襲撃に加わるべきじゃ。まあいい。この
Stunning combination. Finishes. You can finish stunned enemies to restore some health. Oh. Oh, max animation. Oh, I...
己の仲間どもは読みへ行った。己も死を望むのか。お前はわしの稲妻のごとき刃をかわせぬである。
Sorry for you contribution to CSCP stream challenge.
ボロキレが
Hey. Go pet it. Led me to a collectible. That's fine. It was the goodest of poppers. Mark, in the days coming up, I won't be doing E or Jack, as IE will be working in the afternoon mostly, and Jack will be working at night mostly. That's heads up. So my daytime streams, if you're around, it will be Jack, and in the evenings it will be E. Gotcha. I will do my best to try and remember that. Although feel free to remind me if I get it completely wrong. Thank you very much for the heads up. I do very much appreciate that.
橋は落とされておる。されど古い金掘りのマブを通って次まで参ろうぞ。
You're falling off there, dude. The skill of the blade won't save you from a fall. You can't cut gravity. Oh, there's a lot of ways I could go.
戦だと聞いておったのに。雨の中、ババアどもを切ることは戦。
もう案ずることはない。
片付けない。若いお方。
もし拙者の同志を見てはおらぬか。
いいえ。されど捕らえた者どもを上川村へ連れて行くと、この鬼どもが話しておるのを耳にしました。
ならば拙者はそこへ向かおう。どうかご無事で。
I like that. That's a reward for going an alternate path. I very much like that. stamina.
こんなひどい雨で立ってたら山に倒れちまうぜ。酒に飲まれることへの罰はさらに重い。今のうちだ。
Bye. Very clever game. So it's very much like Ghost of Tsushima in the way that it's telling me which way is the correct way to go. Like, I'll show you. I'll show you what I noticed. So here, you can see all the wind pointing to this exit here. You can see all the wind, all that kind of stuff pushing that way. It's like, here, this is where you're supposed to go. Much like the guiding wind in Ghost of Tsushima. I like that. That's a really nice touch by the developers. So obviously, I went this way, and I was rewarded with collectibles. It's a very, very good design choice. I think I'm supposed to go over the bridge. Else is armored. Piercing attacks and finishes are effective against armored enemies. Okay. Oh.
ここで止まれ。この先は誰も通さん。拙者を通せ。必ずも通さん。喉をかっきれ。
Go. Oh! Sworn like parried that, and it's like, yes, you parried. Oh wait, no, you haven't. You won't be suing a samurai. I mean, technically, we're not samurai, we're Ronin.
女をすぐさま離せ。Okay then. In the gut, out the gut, and then off comes the head. Jesus. Save the villagers. Ahead anyways, nah. It's gonna be silly shit. Okay, I was using it. No, definitely not.
何もかも取られた。何もかも。よくも兄貴をやりやがったな、クソ野郎。死ね
Sprint out, force hold and hold circle and triangle. Oh. Hey. He also eats since breakfast, so cheesecake is a substitute. Hey, go eat! Go eat something proper! Jesus Christ! Kipper's very disappointed in you. Very, very disappointed. Heck. Full screen heck. Better go eat. Homemade food also pay you homemade homemade chicken tenders. My own, you probably saw me how, but cheesecake. Something else as well. It made me invoke the power of Tem as well. Eat. Eat. Proper food. Don't make me bring out the big guns here. I will. I will. Get some soup. You'll get some soup. Better be hard soup. Yeah, better be. I will still bring out the big guns. I'm not afraid to. Fluffy chose violence with "It's food foul, less precious, you have to eat your foods." But the Victorian go and eat as well! What the fuck? What the actual dick and balls and arse funking? Who's talking what the Faye! Okay, that does it, Faye. That does it. I'm bringing out the big guns now. Imagine if Jace hadn't eaten all day. Now you know where we're coming from. Eat. Eat. Don't make me message Jason's, tell him that you're, skipping out on food. I will. You better eat. While you can hear the peasants crying in the background. I mean, also sometimes had a small dinner, but a tasty one. I had a curry. I had a lentil and butternut squash curry. No, lentil and sweet potato curry. It was delicious. Better going to make myself soup. You better have something else with the soup. Right, you get some bread. I promise I won't lick it. Well, you can see you each other so together, we won't display the defiance. I've eaten. I've been sensible. I'm the sensible one here. That's really worrying. He went down. Nipple off. I really is not energy that was trying to make fun of myself. There's no making fun when proper care comes into the thing. You will eat, Faye. We will look after you here. Come back from making tea and have Faye do not eat. Exactly.
こっちだ小僧
See, Faye, don't make me Dom you to eat. Oh my god. Everyone's ganging up on Faye. Everyone usually does, but not in this degree. What the fuck? I love it. In a way that gives me joy. What happens to the people who don't eat fake? Shotgun! Eaten since I got home from work. See? Even Torian's done better than you, and Torian's been having an off day. I was eating, by the way, and now I'm scared. From what I've heard of Eve, that with in her capacity to dominate, yeah, I can imagine.
他の奴らが来る前にここから去るのじゃ。
So you need to eat any. You do. Top energy is strong with this one. He's had 2 pizzas today. See? I've not eaten much today, but I am on a weight. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm eating enough, so I'm still getting all the nutrition I need, but I'm not eating I am being healthy. I'm losing weight in a healthy manner. I'm on reduced amounts of food to help lose weight. There's lying in the microwave as I type, please everyone put those weapons down. Say sorry to Tem. Say you're sorry to Tem, Faye. It's a lot of red today, actually. I'm sure it's fine. I've forgotten that thing about, food colours. I really have not. How will we unpost me message to stop eating me, you bastard? Sorry. Was that good enough for Tem? Do you think she's actually truly sorry? Yes, I'm pretty sure that's a yes. You seem to have been forgiven by Tem. All your food is grey and brown. Prepare those Scotch eggs are the fucking bomb. Who gets into all grey and brown? What the fuck? Okay, props to you, Fluffy, for using a different theme than all British food is bland, but where the fuck was all grey and brown come from? What the hell? I mean, actually bamboozled me on that. I was like, what the fuck? That's alive. I've actually been bamboozled over food. I've never heard that before.
措置はなせることを全て果たしたのだ。他に拙者のようなものを見ておらぬか。集い場でどうぞお気をつけて。かたじけない。
Who said all your food looks like poo, but food is being nice? Okay, that one's at least completely inaccurate. I've been so immediately told off something by so many people. We'll get used to it. In this stream, we look after people who are here. British people conquered nearly the entire known world to try their food, just decided they didn't like anything but the hot leaves. That's completely inaccurate as well! Fucking hell. But better than most people say, Red, so I'll give you that. Well, you made dinner before it took an absolute to go get it. Go for it, Torian. At least you're all prepared. Fucking hell! Oof. Speaking of which, hydrate, mother fluffers. Everyone hydrate. I don't have to because no one redeemed it. I will anyway because I should. Still. I've not put my whip away until you finish eating. When you say whip, are we talking a really long cord one, or are we talking one of the short ones that really sting? Like a riding crop type thing? Technically, yes, that's smile power. That does not count. That does not count. Those who don't know, that's half sweet tea and half lemonade. That really does not count. Now, thank you for hydration reminders to DJ and Faye and now Red. Yes, Red has always responded to neglect of self-care with overwhelming violence in the chat, it doesn't matter who. Yep. It's been to me, been to my moderators, been to pretty much anyone. All the water. If you want to see all the water, you look over there next to where it says total subscribers, hydration train 22. There was a hydration train with so many unique hydration redeems that I drank 22 times in a row. That is my current record. Anyway, no one broke the don't spam limit with that either. At least I drink water unlike most gamers. Ah! Faye comes out as a fake gamer girl. Knew it. I'm nearly dead. So throwing ball of silk. I know, right? You have a long one and a small one. Oh, interesting. You just took a sip, dumbass. I'm saying that you're the one that's the fake gamer. Oh, I'm dead. I keep forgetting they have a double stab attack. There's lasagna in your mouth, I swear. Don't talk with your mouth full. It's rude. Just one meant for horses. Oh, I know the kind. Those are very good. Stick. Yes, Pixel didn't have a face. Pretty sure that Faye is not going to send a picture of her with food in her mouth. I mean, you can keep the whip. Make it sound as if you'd actually take it off. Take it off of her, which you wouldn't. I know you, Faye, you wouldn't. Wallpaper but make it for the whips. Ineffective, but interesting. Yeah, get into the whip pit. Well, that just gave me an idea. Buying that one. It was funny to see the first guy realise. haven't realised that. Oh, fuck, mate. Really shouldn't try to do that rotation attack. And for cosplay, I found out Jack loves whips. Ah. Jack is a whip enjoyer, I see.
貫く心の像がもう一つあったか。
Inky. Yes. Alrighty. I found out today when I made some of my popcorn, I thought it'll finish popping, took off the heat and opened the little thingies, and got all day into account to pop right and then strike me square in the nose. Didn't obviously try to humiliate me. Really said, fuck you. This is why you should do popcorn is, you turn the heat off and you let it sit for a little minute, just, so any of the other accounts should pop it, you keep popping. That was better. Jump into those pits full of floofy blocks because I took trampoline classes and I'm 78.9% sure there's a dead kid at the bottom of those. Yeah, same. I mean, I'm old enough that those trampoline blocks came in after I was too old and too tall to go to those attractions, but yeah. No, I was definitely a fan of the trampolining. I don't know, Blanky saying, why did I think you say that? So what I'm gathering from that is that either I need to not, or I do need to get a whip sound for the channel. Just do it. Press a button. The glass too. My eyes always got itchy in those. You regret. Also, when Sky then fell onto me just to get out. Oh god. There's a new date. There's a new 2022 date idea. Hey babe, you want to get caught in the trampoline pit with me? Something always smelled bad in this. Yes, it did. Who's been inhaled? The poor workers were concerned. Yeah, found an old sock in there. I was all stiff from sweat. Oh. Jack said, "Please don't," and I say, "Don't." Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to petition to Torian because Torian is the one who does all my sounds and the effects here. I'm glad that food has been inhaled, Soren. I looked over and thought, food has been something, and I legitimately thought it said food had been reheated. Like, okay, cool. Inhaled. Nope, it's all done. Sweat. If I don't shoe on this one, there will be the whole person. Fucking hell. And stop playing again in time. What a petition for me to do. Whip sound. To antagonise Jack with and to make E very happy. Like a toddler sock. What if that makes it better or worse? Fury collectibles will unlock or improve text or skill of the player. Double toe block and parry. You now automatically face the direction on the attack with blocking and parry. Yes. Almost such a bum. I'm some weirdly deep corner. Really fun attention to me. Sour's fun. Any left? That's the problem. It's still there. It's just not active because I don't have any sours. I can't do the push-ups one because, ow, that's not fun. Put some dog shit on those blocks. I need more sounds before that one gets sent on again. Yeah. Same with the Twinkies one. I will happily do them. I just need the actual stuff. And the next time you jump into one of those things, you can clip into the back rooms. Trampoline speed 20%. Fucking hell, bouncy bounce. Thank you, DJ, for your contribution to the SCP stream challenge. Come on, someone willfully buying Twinkies. That's why Fox bought them for me. Dying phone bits for you on Torture Man, of course. See? I love the fact that, you know, I mentioned that, you know, the slap emote, it gets done the next day. I mentioned the, the spray emote gets mentioned, it gets done the next day. The Pokemon catch one comes out of nowhere. I specifically asked for a cuddle/hug emote. It's taking ages. It's really showing how everyone has their time here. That was perfectly timed to me killing that first one. I thought something was going wrong with the game. I need to pet that cat. Get a room. I mean, you know. What the fuck? Oh, right. Oh, Labby. Right. Okay. So we're gonna have to eat once the bottom size. Oh, they're gross. So we're on the side. It's fine. Great with me. Don't worry about it. Honestly, I was making a joke of it. I was not serious. What is it? Yeah, I better get, you know, some time, you know, loving on Labby when I visit. Meow, he just almost like a bird. Aww. I love that. It all does that. Keeping me. Oh, it's a meowing monster. Yeah. I know those kind of cats. I used to live with 3 Siamese. I know about meowing cats. And my parents have 1 Siamese with them at the moment. Every time he announces his presence, it's like, meh. I'm not even kidding. That is actually his meow. He's got the most old man. It's the old cranky old man meow. Meh. Yes. There's a cat which just goes, let us use our phone number. Well, there's no cat here. There's cats in this building, but they're both asleep at the moment because, you know, it's nearly 3 AM. I sounds the living room and screams when occasionally go to bed. Sarah's quiet. Poppy ain't gonna probably scroll through Reddit, so I pass out. No problem at all, Fluffy. Thanks for coming in as long as you did. I'll see you later. Have yourself a good evening and a good sleep. Good night, fuck we got from Faye. Faye's having such a difficult time, she can't even type in an L properly.
他の者が生きておるならあそこにおるはずじゃ。
Okay, so there's a save point, and it is also nearly about time for me to quit. So that's a good place to end off, I think. So yeah, that was Trek to Yomi. That was amazing. I loved it. I know people wanted to get me wet, but that's a bit on the direct side. So yeah, that's going on the stream schedule. Not stream schedule, it was stream queue. I am going to be playing more of that on stream. I loved that. That is absolutely fantastic. The combat, nice and easy, simple to get through. Fucking challenge on hard mode, obviously, as we saw. Cinematography in it, absolutely stupendous. The audio quality, fantastic. The graphics, amazing. Like that was amazing. I'm so glad I got that. I really am. Like, I took one look at the trailer. I was like, I want that. I've taken one play of the game. I'm glad I bought that. So yeah, that's going on the stream queue. I'm going to be playing more of that. I'm going to finish that on stream. Add Trek to Yomi to stream. Okay. To be fair, considering what we've got right now, would people like to see the decision for the next game? Well, actually, I don't know. No, because then you'll see all the things they're prepared, so it won't be so much of a mystery anymore. I mean, I don't feel nauseous anymore. Wow, it's so weird and random. I wonder why. If you ate you banana. Yeah, I might do that. Couldn't be. You're just like Kaya from Genshin. You're a banana. Lady Fox is in there to actually spray you with the water bottle when we do that one. You would as well, that's the thing. I just don't think. I also think that that would be a bad idea because it would be from that side, and that's where my microphone is. I don't want to just match that. Vibes are immaculate. Yes. Secrets. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, screw it. Let's do this. Give me 2 seconds to actually bring the wheel up. I can't tell which ones it is. But the stream video message said to go spooky. Oh, fuck's sake! Yeah, I remember that. Oh, that's actually the right one. Okay, let me just remove the ones that aren't applicable anymore. Apply wheel changes. Error establishing a database connection. What the fuck? And it's back. I don't know. Well, it might even not legible. Maybe good, or I don't know. I can't say or whip you because we can't have a Discord. I'll try, but no, this is all guarantee. So what I'm doing, I'm going to do this differently. What I had been doing before was, I was spinning this 3 times for 3 different results, and then I was taking 1 from that 3. But because 3 results will be half of this, I'm going to take 2 results and then do a coin flip between the 2. So, first option. Demon Souls. Yeah, that's mouth. Ghost Runner. Okay, so it is going to be a choice between Demon Souls Remaster and Ghost Runner. Just go down here, here, here. Apply wheel changes. It should now be basically a 2-quadrant wheel. What is going on? Oh, you don't want to play Bayonetta so bad. I finished it. Like, not on this, not on the PlayStation 4/PlayStation 5. I played it on the Xbox 360 and I finished it there. Right, so now this is it looks like an upside-down Pokeball. Right, let's see what's going to be played tomorrow in the afternoon. And spin. Ghost Runner. There you go. You have all seen it being fair. You've all seen it there and done. Tomorrow's stream is going to be Ghost Runner. So you will get that nice little preview of what's going to happen tomorrow before anyone else does. Everyone else is going to be on the Discord, not having watched this stream. It's like, I don't know what it's going to be. It's still a mystery to them. But you will all know that tomorrow, this is what we're going to be streaming. Excuse me. Ghost Runner's going to be hard. See, I played the demo of Ghost Runner back before it even released, and I really enjoyed it. Like, really enjoyed it. And I thought, I want to get this when it comes out because it's cyberpunk. I like almost everything cyberpunk. Yeah, I just really, really enjoyed it. Then after it came out, well, when it came out, in that little, I say little, but in that window of a month where I have no money to buy new games. I was like, it's fine. And then I saw someone, a streamer that I know of, play it. Or I knew he was playing it whilst I was watching another streamer. Then raided the stream. It was like, that didn't take long. I said, no, I finished it. But you weren't even playing that for 3 hours. Like, yeah, it's real short. So, like, I really don't want to be paying full price of a retail game for a game that could be finished in less than 3 hours. That's a no. That's a pass. And then it came, free on PlayStation for PS Plus. So I now have the PS5 version of Ghost Runner for free, and that's what's going to be played tomorrow. Found it hard. See, I found the demo challenging, but I liked it. I liked the challenge that the demo gave me. So we'll see how that goes. It might be the case that I end up getting partway through as like, no, this is not for me, and then switching to something else. That might happen. But Ghost Runner is the intended thing to be streamed tomorrow. Do we win after Zoom a second set of reps for the night? No, I chose to end it, and this is going on the stream queue to be streamed to completion. And we've decided that tomorrow's mystery stream is going to be Ghost Runner. Look, the fan base, fuck me, it's so toxic. That's why I don't get involved with fan bases. I never ever get involved with fan bases. I just enjoy what I want to enjoy. Because when you get involved with fan bases, there's going to be toxic people, and there's going to be people who will berate you and drag you through the mud simply for having an opinion. I just don't have the patience for that. The only large group that I've ever been actively involved in is the one that I'm currently, which is on Facebook. There's a Monster Fuckers group. I'm involved in that because a lot of artwork gets posted. It's really nice, and the admins are wonderful there. Like, very, very supportive of the LGBTQIA plus community. Very supportive of the whole thing of what you post. It needs to meet criteria, as in it has to be able to communicate, you know, properly. Has to be able to have some communication. It has to be able to understand what it is that is going on. It has to be able to consent and offer freely given consent, and it has to be at maturity for its species. Otherwise, no. Which I really like. I really, really like that. They also identify problematic sources, artists, and people, and say we don't allow these things here. They are the ones who linked me to that. Who I found the link to, and found the whole thing about, don't shop at Bad Dragon. I will freely offer that link to anyone who wants it. I have a massive, it's a massive link of, all the bad things Bad Dragon have done and still do, and alternatives, places, to go elsewhere. Yeah. Other than that, don't really like fandoms or groups like that. The only one that I'm actually close to is the Final Fantasy 14 one, because genuinely the Final Fantasy 14 one is a group of mostly nice people. It's it's absolutely wholesome community. Like I will use the whole thing of the most recent expansion, the one that's currently around, Endwalker. They had to delay the release. It was supposed to be released, I think, late November or early December last year. The executive director of the team did a live stream of all the things that we're going to be able to expect and to see during the expansion, and he started off and he was on the verge of tears, and he profusely apologized whilst dissolving into actually crying about it, that he had to announce that they were delaying the expansion release by 2 weeks. He was heartbroken. And the community's response? Take all the time you need. Take all the time you need, and we will make sure that, we want you to be happy with what you sent out. We can wait. And this is what happens when you have a design company, a developer, who cares for the community and actually does care and looks after them. You get a loyal fan base, and these people will turn around and they will stick by you. And this is what Final Fantasy XIV has cultivated. The whole community is absolutely wonderful, and it shows a lot that the executive producer doesn't care about the money side of it. He cares about providing for the community, providing experience, and he cares about the people he works with. Like another thing, the music director for the game, a amazing man by the name of Soken, he was battling cancer whilst doing the previous expansion, Shadowbringers, and he was keeping it a secret from pretty much everyone. And at a live show celebrating the expansion, he walked on stage and announced that his cancer was in remission. The executive producer hugged him and he says, "I don't care about anything anymore. I'm just glad I've got my brother back." How fucking amazing are people like that? That's one of the reasons I stick with Final Fantasy XIV. That is one of the reasons, because I feel like it's made by humans, for people who genuinely want to deliver a product to people, not people who are just chasing money. That's why I love Final Fantasy. You make me cry. The community's reaction to that was, the most wholesome thing ever, as well, as you can well imagine. And they made a reference in it, which the reference, if you haven't played Final Fantasy, the reference loses some of it. But basically, they showed pictures of him walking on stage with the quote from the game, "A smile better suits a hero." It's like, fucking hell. Knowing what that's referencing from the game hurt, it hits hard, but also just the fact that no one actually, no one gave him a hard time of it. I'll see if also I can find something, because this also needs to be said about the community itself, what they will do. So there is a class in the game called Dark Knight. Now, if you look at the Dark Knight, if you look at anything about the Dark Knight, you will see influence from Berserk. And it is very clear, quite fairly chunky dark armor and a massive greatsword, and it's a tank. So it is very clearly, that is what it is. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Now, as people who follow Berserk know, the creator and artist of Berserk died, and massive upset around that, and so many tributes and homages. And if I'm trying to find here, bear with me 2 seconds. I'm fairly certain this has got to be the right one. It's got to be the right folder. Let's just I'm looking for a screenshot. I'm looking for a screenshot among quite a fair number that I took. There we are. So let's reduce this a little bit. Hide these two as well. That is a line of people as the Dark Knight class standing as a candlelit vigil honouring Kintaro's memory. And that character right there, that's me. That's my character. That line stretched around one of the major cities, and people were standing like that for days. Like that vigil was going on and off for like 3 days to commemorate it. And what's even better, you have to go through a fair few steps to unlock the Dark Knight class. And not everyone's done it. Not everyone wants to play the Dark Knight class. Not everyone wants to be a tank. But people still wanted to take part in the vigil and still wanted to help. So they lined up as well in whatever class they had. And no one gave them shit for it. No one said, oh, you have to be a Dark Knight. No one was elitist. No one was nasty about it. They say, welcome, here, have a spot. And those little campfires that are out in front of people, there were people running around giving those away for free to people. Saying, it's a nice little thing we're doing. We know people who can craft these things. Have them. Take part. Join in. So when I say that I will most likely be playing Final Fantasy XIV for the rest of its lifespan, those are the reasons why. That is why. Not because of because it's a fantastic game or it's got great content. I mean, it is a fantastic game. It does have great content, but the community itself are absolutely wonderful. The people behind it are amazing. It's just there's next to no absolute awfulness or toxicity or anything bad about it. Like even when all the NFT stuff was going really high up, and was absolutely rife, the executive producer came around and said, while I believe there is a monetary potential for NFTs and I would like to explore them, Final Fantasy XIV is not the place for it. You do not have to worry, there will not be NFTs in Final Fantasy XIV. It's like, we couldn't ask for more. He was being honest. He was being absolutely honest that yes, he thinks that there is money in them. He thinks that there is potential in them, and he wants to follow, to look into what they can do, but acknowledges that Final Fantasy XIV is not the place for them, so he won't do it. I mean, yes, Square Enix going all NFT crazy, a bit iffy, but the fact that he turned around and said, we've seen your reaction to NFTs. We've noted that you don't want NFTs in Final Fantasy XIV. I am here to tell you that Final Fantasy XIV is not the place for NFTs, ergo it will not get them. And that's good. That's really good that you have an executive producer who is willing to give that sort of assurance. And he does these kind of things very often. Like you get letters from the director, and he actually does address the player base. He's not like some some shadowy figure hidden behind everything else. He will actually talk to players, and every year there is a event commemorating the release, the anniversary of Final Fantasy XIV, and you get a little quest to do with it. And the culmination of the quest is always the executive producer himself, his avatar in the game, has a little heart to heart with you. And, it's the speech that he has written out, and he's always very encouraging, he's very polite, he's very much, thank you for being here, thank you for supporting us, and thank you for being on this journey with us. Whether you are just starting or you've been here for years, this couldn't be what it is without you. And he is genuine in it. And I love that. I love everything about Final Fantasy XIV, I really do. Yeah. I'm rambling about it, I realise, and I've been neglecting what's actually been talked about in chat as well. I'm trying to wrap up, and I've rambled for like 20 minutes now. Something I usually tend to do. Let's see. Fair enough. Everything else is lovely, nice. You need to hear it. Someone who cares about you. Yes, they do. So yeah, but they harass people. Wants an easy mode or practice mode. Something to the developer. Oh, that is bad. Go back to Ghost Runner here. I wanted to buy a Bad Dragon thing. Don't know where to get similar but different thing. If both you and E are still in the chat, I can drop the link in right now. That doesn't affect your playthrough. Well, give a shit. Exactly. E also wants that link. E, are you and Jack still around? Because I'm fairly certain, I've seen Red still here. If you are both here, I'll drop the link into chat right now, and you can go off of it. Because it's not, the link itself doesn't take you to anywhere adult or anywhere not safe for work. It provides a database of links where you can go and find this kind of stuff, and also the things that Bad Dragon have done. You're still there as well. Okay, it's a short link. It's a very short link, but that is the link you need. You just type that into your browser. It will take you to that list. It will tell you why Bad Dragon are awful, and it will give you alternatives. Plenty of alternatives. And I know someone who has bought from some of those alternatives and swears by it. You're going to make me cry. Some very passionate people got broken down. Yeah, I think he did, actually. Rip Kintaro movie. Yes, definitely. So we're going to cry. It's so cute from the fan base. Yeah. And this is so nice. It's honestly really sweet. It is. It really is. See people on Twitter walking to show how long the line is. Yeah. It was massive. Like that. So what you could see there was nowhere near the start of where that line was. I came in and stood at the end of it. And there was, whilst I was standing there, more people joined on the other end. UFC, yes, agreed. Repeatedly wanted to start trying to play Final Fantasy XIV for a while, but the idea of the first 60 hours being a slog is terrifying to me. It's not the first 60 hours. They have streamlined it so that the first part of it, yes, the base game does drag on a bit. It does drag on. They have done what they can to try and make it more streamlined, but it is necessary. The first part of the game, treat it mostly as world building. It builds up the world, it gives you information on what's going on, who's involved, who the important people are, and it takes its time doing that in a true Final Fantasy game style. Then you have the expansions which build on top of that. So, while the base game is a slog, it is necessary, and it is worth getting through, specifically for those bits that come afterwards. It costs money, right? It does. It is a monthly subscription game. However, you can go and find a free trial of it, and the free trial has no time limitations and includes the base game and the first expansion for free. There are some restrictions in game for being a free trial player. Like, you can't make parties. I don't think you can send whispers. You can't trade, and you can't use the marketplace. I think those are the main ones. And I think you have a guild limit as well. But honestly, those are not that much of an issue, because you can't create a party, but other people can create a party with you. As in, you're a free trial member, and I want I want to be in a party. Will someone say, well, I'll create a party, you join it. It works. And there's the novice network, which is basically where all the new people are and have their chat room. And there are mentors in the novice network as well, of which I am one. And very often people will say, hi, I'm a free trial member. I want to go in a party with my friend who's also a free trial member, but we can't do it. Is anyone able to help? And most likely, so yeah. Who is it? Who am I inviting? Invite you. Okay, I'll lead the party. You're now in a party together. Because that is exactly how the community in-game behaves. But yes, you can get the free trial. The free trial will let you play the game as if it was the full game. There are no massive restrictions on it. You will have access to the entirety of the first expansion, the base game, and all the patch content after the first expansion, right in leading you up to the next expansion, which is called Stormblood. If you like it by then obviously you can buy the rest of the expansions. You can carry on. If you don't like it, you're not spent any money. And the free trial will last for as long as you want it to. It's not like, oh, you have a month free, or you need to pay. You need to buy it after a certain amount. No, you stay on the free trial for as long as you want. It is a PC only one, so if you're a console player, I don't think there is a console version of the free trial. However, it is definitely well worth checking out. If people are interested in it and want to play with me specifically, give me a nudge and I will tell you how to get onto the same server that I'm on, and I'll help you through things. Still here, there we are. Thank you. You are welcome. Sorry, we say it first to themselves. So if you use the storybook like the beginning of every JRPG or worse, treat it like the intro to a JRPG. Yeah, that's probably a very good way of doing it. Just bear with it essentially. For the the game is the game is best when viewed as a story-based game, and you're in it for the story. But be aware it is quite a slow starter. And if you go in and you like the gameplay, definitely hold on, because the story gets a lot better. A lot better. It's won awards. It has won awards for how good the story writing is, especially with the past two expansions. Well, current and previous. I do want to have Final Fantasy on PS5 and don't have the money monthly. No, but the free thing with PC. Fair. That is totally fair. You can't go back to the trial after you've paid a sub. Keep that in mind. That is true. If you've already bought the game properly and you have an account with them, you can't get a free trial. You can get a free trial and make a whole new account to have a free trial on, but you can't link the two accounts. Anything you've had on the previous account will just get lost. You have to get the free trial. See if my PC can handle it. I've got no idea of the capabilities of your PC, Faye, but Fox's ancient laptop, which is about 6 or 7 years old, still runs it. And the replacement PC that she's gotten recently also runs it. You may have to reduce some graphic settings just to get it to run properly, but it is still playable. Your PC can't handle it. That's awful. Sorry to hear that. Is that going? Yeah. The way still my WoW sub runs out to go back to 14, 514 in September. We'll be waiting for you. And hopefully as well, what they are doing at the moment, they are in the process of implementing data center travel. So the way it works is that you have data centers, which are basically server clusters all around the world, depending on which region they're in. And within each data center, you have like 8 servers. Now, it used to be you could do a world transfer or a world visit from your server to any other server in the same data center as you. What they are going to be implementing soon, it is fairly soon actually, I think, what they're doing, is doing it so that you can visit any other server within a data center on the same region as you. Like Europe has 2 data centers, I believe. I think America has 2 data centers, maybe 3, and then they've recently opened up one for Oceania. And there's also the 2, maybe 3 Asian ones as well. So you can transfer between any of the European servers, essentially. Well, you will be able to be. And they are looking into doing it as in visiting from EU ones over to North America. that one is still in the works, and they're seeing if people want it. So yeah, so don't worry too much if you can't get, if you want to play with me, for example, and you can't get onto the same server as me. As long as you're in the same region as me, we'll be able to world visit and meet up and do content together. Some day to your day of birth. Yes. This is Frankenstein's monster, so I won't be able to tell you. I could tell you how to find out, Faye. I can tell you how to find out what your PC has in it, and therefore what it would be capable of. If you're interested in that, I will quite happily walk you through that. I don't mind that. You can hop out, like, don't worry about it, Torian. I'm going to be closing stream fairly soon. Thank you very much for coming in as long as you did, Torian, and sweet dreams. I'll see you later. Yeah. I'll happily walk you through how to find out what your computer has in it and how to, and then compare that to the requirements for Final Fantasy 13. However, I've been rambling on even longer now, so I will say this is where streaming is going to be ending now. I'm actually going to do the closing down thing now. Next stream is going to be 4 PM BST tomorrow, which is in 12 and a half hours from now, where I'll be going and doing Ghost Runner, and we'll see what happens with Ghost Runner. Until then, though, thank you all very much for coming along and for all your support, however you've chosen to show it. There's no special shout-outs I can see. No, that's completely fine. But yeah, whether you've chosen to support by just being here, by lurking, by chatting, or any of your interactions, it's all greatly appreciated. I'm out from Jack and me, and we'll say good night as well. Oh, that's a cracking good time. But yeah, until next time, though, hope you all have a good rest of your evening, a good day, a good night, a good morning, or a good afternoon, whatever the time is for you. Till next time, though, stay safe, stay amazing, and see you later. Jack said I hate you and love you. That's amazing. Bye.